Masili,
These
right?
projects that have gone far beyond your suggestion, if it's not captured in the budget, as good as those projects may be laudable, they are illegal. And we cannot tolerate that. It doesn't matter how beautiful and how good they are, as long as it's not captured in a budget and that it does not have an appropriation law as set by the court, it means that those things to its extent is not avoid. Where it could be for the good of the people, you could win this, but be careful that you're not doing something that is in the budget that's around the law. It means that you got money from somewhere and is doing it.
All right. He also spoke about the recommendation by the Commission of Inquiry. I think we talked about that yesterday. Let's quickly listen to his thoughts on that. All right. For some reason, I don't think that soundbite is available. But if I do have it, I'll play it so you can listen to what he said about that. Talking about the... Well, am I at the right place? No, I'm not. So I'm going to come here and try again. Okay, here is it.
There's no thing, doing that. It is not wrong for a governor to so do. But what is wrong is the bias in it. And what do I mean by the bias? Is the fact that upon the day the governor went to visit Isoko, the governor made a wiping statement. The governor said, I am going to set a panel of inquiry into this thing. I know my people didn't do it. Meaning that he knows the people who did it. But if a man who is going to set a panel of inquiry have already said that he knows those who didn't do it, it means that also that he knew who. So everything that came now looks biased.
All right, so what are your thoughts quickly? Well, let's run now. Let's move on to the second big story. And the second big story is still about a conversation we had sometime this week. It's about, the move for Biafra, the agitation for Biafra. And I remember on Monday, we talked about how it may likely affect the South region. And I asked the question if, the South region is wanting to join that agitation. If the South region is a part of the agitation, then if not, why are they included? But if they argue they are not, could they be lying? I mean, we talked about all of that. But some notable people, or should I say some notable groups from the region, have popped up and are now saying, see, we are not part, we will not be part, leave us out of these agitation. We saw I can't remember the name. I think there was a group, was it sometime on Tuesday, that came out and said and refuted being the partaker of that agitation. But now it is PANDEF. PANDEF is now saying, please do not include the Niger Delta in your secession plan. Now, the Pan-Niger Delta Forum is one proponent of Biafra Republic to desist from including communities in the Niger Delta or South geopolitical zone in their secessionist plans. PANDEF caution was contained in a statement released in Port Harcourt on Wednesday and signed by its national youth leader Don Yega. Now, while distancing itself from Biafra agitation, the Apex Social Political Party of the Niger Delta reiterated its commitment to a united Nigeria built on equality and justice for all citizens. And the angle I'm looking at this conversation from, you could also bring out your own angles, by the way, but the angle I'm looking at this conversation from is the angle of, it is not just coming out to refute, like I said on Monday. It's not just coming out to say we are not a part of it. Now, I should shock you if you're not aware that even in the Southeast, there are a plethora amount of people who are not supporters of this secessionist plans. They are, I don't have the right statistics, I don't have the right amount to say if they are a majority or a minority, but there are people in the Southeast who are not supporters of the agitation for a separation from a united Nigeria. And yet, despite the fact that their governments, their state governors, their legislators, be it at the state or national level, even at the local government level, are always saying they are not partakers of these secessionist movements, yet it has not been able to stop issues like insecurity, issues like impediments to economic activities. We've not been able to sort all of that in the southeast. So coming out to say, hey, we're not a part of it, we're not going to be a part of it, is it going to be enough to stop the others who feel that they are a part of it, who feel like they should be a part of it? And that's a very, pertinent to silent question we should ask, and I'm trying to ask it on the show. How do we ensure that this does not spiral into some level of insecurity in some local governments, especially local government that hold boundaries to the southeast region? I'm talking Oyibo, for instance. I'm talking somewhere in is it Elele, the part that leads you to Imo State. I'm looking at these various places, and I'm wondering, really, how do we ensure that we do not allow some spillover? Because if you remember, during years and Wike's time as governor, we saw that spillover. At some point, we saw killing of security officials along the airport road. If you remember vividly, we saw some attacks, a one-time attack, I should say, on the police at the C4I, I think around the MOR axis. So we want to be very careful so there is no spiral, there's no spill over, and that's why we're looking at this conversation, not just for talking's sake. But let's quickly now move on to my third big story. And my third big story, looking at all the stories from various news platforms, my third big story has got to do with the tax reform bill, or should I say the tax reform bills. There are about 4 of them. And yesterday, it was reported, I remember while I was talking about it, the 4 o'clock hour, there was the breaking news that the Senate had joined the House of Reps to step the bills down. And then later, the news came in detail, and we were made to understand that the reason was so that they can interface, or one of the reasons was so that they can interface with the Attorney General. Is the Attorney General? Yeah. Fagbemi, yeah. Lateef Fagbemi, yeah. So that there could be that interface between the legislative arm of government and the executive arm of government, so that there can be some understanding in conflicting areas, in areas where there is so much controversy, cutting, and there's so much plenty people are not very comfortable with those segments or those clauses of the bills, so that there can be some understanding or some amendment. Now today, Akpabio is speaking. Akpabio has come out and says, hey, what you had, all fallacy, all false, we're not stepping it down, we will not be intimidated. And it got me thinking, really, what's so intriguing, is that the word? What's so bad? I'm looking for the right way to describe what is in my head right now, but why is it having so much resistance? Is it really a good thing, these reforms? Is it really a good thing? I mean, we've talked about it for 2 days straight, right? We talked about it for 2 days straight, and I'm thinking, is it really? Because for the most part of this week, nothing much has been focused on. What we have all been focusing on, I'm talking about all across the country, what we have focused on has been the tax reform bills. Now, I hear, was it Kano State? I saw one news item, I think in Kano State, the assembly has said no to the tax, said it's anti-North. My goodness. Now, this is a sensitive conversation. It somewhat, plays on our diversity. It also plays on the My words are failing me right now. I want to do a proper description of, what I'm trying to talk about. But I do think I'm trying to refer to the sensitive nature of our unity. It plays on that as well. Some people during Buhari's time did say that the country was heavily divided and more divided than even when the Civil War was fought. Now, the only thing is that we are not going to war, maybe because we're more sensible these days. I'm just saying, I'm just arguing. But, they claimed at the time that we were more divided. As a matter of fact, during Goodluck's time, it was predicted by international agencies or institutions that the country was going to split. And, fortunately for us, we're still together. Can I argue like that? I don't know. But what am I saying? That as sensitive as things are for us, in terms of unity, in terms of, our diversity, our peculiarities, in spite of all of that, our different beliefs, this bill seemingly, seems to play on all of those. And if we don't get it right, it feels like we may get stuck, for a very long time. And if we get it right, it feels like there will be a lot of challenges in the beginning before we also get it right. So which is the tunnel we're supposed to travel? We're yet to know. But I want to get your thoughts, basically, really. I want to hear from you. And I'm really thinking. And it really would be very interesting if we can have the government of Rivers State begin to tell us the direction that they would want to take as it relates to these tax reforms, right? Because we're seeing states in the north, not just Rivers State, by the way. We need to see states in the southern part of the country, Bayelsa, Rivers, Lagos. I know Lagos will support. I think they may already be supporting. I do feel the southwestern states may just end up supporting, the reform. But then, what about this other part, the southeastern part, the southern part? Are they supporting? We want to hear, we want to see, so people can get to understand what these arguments are. And it's time that we get this done. By the way, there is an interface currently between the Senate and the presidency. It's time for me to go to the phone lines. It's the bottom of the hour. We're live on Facebook, Nigerian for PH, on YouTube, Nigerian for PH, and we are active in X. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0002. All right, these are the call numbers. Once again, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. WhatsApp number 0809-0306416. All right, I've got Braid, and he's calling me from my one. Braid, welcome.
Yeah, greetings to Mr. Batibo.
Yeah, greetings to Mr. Braid as well.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, concerning the tax, the National Assembly, Akpabio said there is no going back. I know Akpabio will say that, but as he seek the opinion of the people that they are leading, are they have a town hall meeting with their constituents before coming out to say that they are not going back? Is Akpabio leading himself or is leading a senatorial district?
Interesting.
Yes, and also, I think the Southeast, they should put on peacefully. If Nigeria will accept it, I think it should be a good one. Because staying with Nigeria together, I don't think there is anything that anybody is deriving from it, apart from the political office holders who is eating fast in our resources. Apart from that, I don't think there is any tremendous thing that the civilian administration in Nigeria has done to anybody. Neither our youth are dying every day by day. I think there is an amalgamation. If we are up to 100 years, I think we can look at the treaty and sit down together and look at it. If South is saying that they are not part of it. Well, they cannot speak for everybody. They should be able to have town hall meetings and seek the opinion of the people, because Nigerians are impoverishing and suffering the people on a daily basis. People are no longer eating even one square meal. Look at the food that is coming from my backyard. That somebody will sell fuel at the rate of 1,000.
Brad,
I will buy a kilo of LGP. How many thousand? It's not.
All right, your time is up, Braid. I would have to listen to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, it's not your time, but thank you nonetheless. Give from Rumusi, welcome.
Hello, Canada.
Yeah, quickly. Let's hear your thoughts.
Okay, I want to respond to the statement from Chiziyoma about the project the governor is doing. I want to ask him, where was he when somebody was running the state without budget? Was his mouth stiff to that time that he could not talk? When somebody said, if you don't like you, I'm governing the state, go and hug transformer. Where did he run to? Was he on hibernation?
Gift. Let me ask
because
you.
Gift. That he can slap anyhow.
Gift. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Is running a country or state or local government without a budget the right thing to do? No. Wait now. I'm not talking about cheesy now. It's Gift. It's between you and I, because you made a statement, and I'm asking you: is running a state, a country, a local government without a budget the right thing? Okay, you know what? Scratch that. Is running a house? Okay, it's not the right thing.
We have a budget.
Wait. I'm not. You are the one who took us back to an era where you perceived that there was. I'm going somewhere now. Let me ask you the gift. You took us to a time where you perceived there was no budget, making it feel like if it was done then, it can be done now. And that's why I'm asking you the question: is it right in any sense to run even your home without a budget?
Like I said, it is not right. But where was he that time? Was he hiding?
So if he was not available that time, does it make it right? That's the question. I'm not saying it's happening now.
Not right,
okay, so let's not go back to that time then.
That time.
Let's not go back.
Not now. You want to show is relevant because you can call any reporter and say anything, and they will say,
all right,
you should go and rest.
All right then, you should go and rest. You say, as it came from Ubumini, welcome. What's on your mind? Let's talk, please.
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, greetings to you.
Canada, Akpabio and his colleagues find it difficult to approve or to sign the tax reform bill. I think I see it as a kind of eye service and initial gragra. Otherwise, they have been signing some unnecessary bills that are not beneficial to the citizens. So let them use the same way they stand other bills that are not benefit to the masses and also do this. If we are to be affected, let every man suffer it. The issue of cheese, Masala, cheese as an APC chieftain, according to the news, is now illegalizing the project and the projects that the governor had commissioned or flagged up. Is he not prompting the court, or is he not telling us that as an APC member that Amewule is an APC person, or
that is you inferring? We're not going. He said they are the assembly that should be recognized. He didn't talk about what party they belong to. So let's not infer basically. By his explanation and how he was talking in your news, I think he was or he is comfortable of what will happen, because he said that the governor is playing or is somehow, I don't know how he put it, showing that it may boomerang on him in the future. That means he had given Amewule the condition or the state of. But that's what I just said. He's recognizing them as the assembly. That's what he's doing. He's not referring to what party they belong to, but he's recognizing, their status as assembly members.
Thank you very much. Yes,
all right then. JJ from Port Harcourt Township, welcome. What is on your mind?
Yes, Canada.
All right.
You talked about the tax bill stuff being sensitive. Let me agree with you. That is a very sensitive thing. You can see that the northern senators and House of Rep members are charged of the whole thing, that at the end of the day, they are now the ones carrying the day. They say they are stepping down. Akpabio is saying another thing. Me, I don't trust Akpabio for 1 second. But if you check it,
okay,
you will see that the North people, the people from the North, are even agitating seriously because they understand this bill very well.
Okay.
Canada can even challenge you now that you may know about this bill, but you don't even understand it very well. I don't know anything about the bill.
Why do you feel
you and me,
JJ? Why do you feel I don't understand the bill? I think I do understand it to an extent.
You'll be shocked, though. You'll be shocked.
Like I said, I do understand it to an extent.
I was thinking that as sensitive as you call the bill, that our people who are representing us ought to have fall back to us and say, look, we are organizing town hospital. We want to hear from our people. Show it on national TV so that they too know how prepared we are.
Okay.
Don't be surprised the northern guys are already agitating with their people, carrying them along. Nobody they carry us along here. If you bring anybody to come talk about the bill, it's just cut. Nobody in this area knows the nitty-gritty of the bill, apart from Sheraki Dixon, who are some aspect, but that's not the full aspect of that bill.
But you see, JJ, before you go to cheesy, I may disagree with you on that. When Sheraki Dixon was asked if he had read the bill, he said he had read majority of the bills, almost all of it. And the key areas, he broke it down, by the way, and he said the part that is particular to the North, or that the North is most concerned about, is the part where, you take, from the general share and give it to, people who are generating. And that's where, because according to him, 60% will go to states where the VAT and payee taxes are generated from, and then 20 will go to, the general share, that they call it equality share, and then 20 will go to population, and of course they still have the population. But they are worried about the 60% that will be going to places like Lagos, like Rivers State, like or Osun State, Abuja, and that's what they are most concerned about.
So for me, it's still not to come back, because this is not to fight alone.
Okay.
The way this war has equipped their people with information, our people too need to be equipped with it.
I agree.
Because according to Marcus Garvin, he said if other continents of the world refuse to take harm, the Africa must also go for harm. So as they are enlightening their people, we need to be enlightened too. Tuesday, I want to ask you, Kalada, has he been governor before?
No,
I don't think followed up all the legal activity that the Supreme Court, the case is before the Supreme Court, is still preempting the Supreme Court. As far as we are concerned, the people in the street of River State don't even know the man. These people, they don't know them. It's not popular, so nobody even care about them whether they see exist or not, because the governor has performed whatever they are thinking.
Okay.
And you're telling me this one should be like that. This one. Has he been governor before? I better make him go rest. I beg. Thank you very much.
JJ, thank you. I've got Gift from Yenagua. Gift, welcome. What is on your mind? The line here.
Good afternoon, Kalada.
Yeah, afternoon, Gift.
Yeah, let me now congratulate Shizi Yemasila. You don't need to be a governor or a president.
We're not doing congratulations on
but
the show.
But the truth of the matter, we must state it as it is.
Okay.
And nobody will run away from this truth.
Okay.
The truth is this. As long as you have not passed a lawful appropriation, what you are doing is illegal according to 2 levels of court as we speak today. That is the law. Until it is upheld.
But
not even the president or the governor is bigger than the Nigerian 1999 constitution or the laws of this land. It is because we are worshipping governors and presidents. If it is places like America, where a governor can be removed within the snap of a finger, nobody will sound where we are sounding. Yemasila, Shizi, you have done well. Continue to speak the truth.
All right.
How can a governor run a state without a budget?
But Gift. I've asked you this question.
Yes.
You sound so very sure, and I've asked, and I said, "See, January."
I'm very sure of
Wait,
what I'm saying.
I'm going to wait till you hear the question, right?
Go ahead. I'm listening to you, Kalada. Go ahead.
There is a judgment, or should I say, about 2 judgments to be
Yes.
released January 2025. What if
Federal High Court and Appeal Court.
What if it doesn't go your way or in the direction of your argument? Do you now think that the governor would have been doing the right thing to have not commissioned this project?
Just like what you said, that you've been asking this particular question, meaning you're not taking sides. You are neutral. But I'm telling you, according to the law, today, I don't know tomorrow, Kalada. So I will not even complain of the type of question you're asking me. You're 100% right.
All right.
That is why I'm open-minded.
All right, I've got to go.
But the man, Yamasila, what he's saying today, that according to the law, whatever thing the government is doing, it is illegal.
Okay.
Is it a lie?
All right. I've got to go. I've got to go. Gifts. Thank you. I've got Bob from Imbiama. Bob, welcome. What is on your mind? Interesting.
Canada.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you a question. Should I talk about Biafra agitation?
Biafra in what angle, Bob? Let's get your thoughts because it's part of the big stories. I wonder in what angle you want to talk about
first
it.
First of all, I want to ask one question. What brings us together as Nigeria? If that thing now fizzles away, the oil and the gas from Niger Delta, would that be one Nigeria?
Bob, what brings us together is not oil and the gas. As a matter of fact, when we came together, there was no oil and gas. Bob, what keeps us together is the Constitution of Nigeria. It is the government of Nigeria. It is Bob. It is the
gas now coming from that delta.
Bob, in case you do not know, the oil is not selling as it should. In case you do not know, the most non-oil, what is it called now? Non-oil, okay, let me put it like this. Non-oil revenue was more in terms of what we generated than even the oil revenue. And it's coming from things like customs. It's coming from things like...
last question before I drop.
Okay, please.
Last question before I drop.
I'm listening.
If these resources in Niger Delta now, this oil and gas, is in the other part of the country like the north, would you have the country the way it is now?
So let me ask you a question since we're doing questions and answers. Do you know that gold sells more than crude oil? Would you agree with me? Is gold more expensive than crude oil?
Yeah, but why is it not becoming
do we have gold in the southern part or we have it in the northern part? Because you say if we had crude oil in the north, the country would not be. But they have gold in the northern part. I mean, so let's.
Is it the national cake?
My point is, it can be the national cake. It is not a nest. Does not mean it cannot be the national cake. So what is keeping us together is I'm not government. Actually, government. I've got to move on now. I've got Samson from Abua. Samson, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Yes. Hello?
I can hear you, Samson. Welcome. What is on your mind?
Yes, God bless you. My name is Irene Samson. I'm calling you from the city of Abua Uga in Emako Kubokla.
All right, let's get your thoughts, Samson.
Yes. You could see, I heard the voice that you just played when the man was saying. I could see the frustration when he was saying, I see the frustration. It's just the beginning, It's just the beginning because the man I know, led by Semalai Fubara, is busy thinking of developing every local government in River State. The man is busy thinking of development. Now, you could imagine they have started a tour of renovating, doing different things in different local governments. You're now showing your frustration. I want to thank also my brother in the River State, Gift. Continue showing your frustration.
Sam, no, we don't do that on the show.
My governor has moved on.
All right. We don't attack people's
questions.
All right, thank you very much. We don't attack other people's opinion. We're respectful. We try to be respectful on the show. Can we do that, please? Can we be respectful to diverse opinions? I've got Temple from Eche. Temple, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Good afternoon, the very distinguished Canada.
Welcome, Temple.
Compliment of the season.
Compliments. All right, oh my, it's a conversation. Temple, can you hear me now? Oh my. Anyways, moving on. For those of you who say, oh, it is this, it is that. Now, I'm not a spokesperson, but, maybe I'm not understanding it rightly, but I guess he's referring to, these court judgments. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, the Federal High Court withholding, what's it called now, revenue to the state as a result of trying to implement the Court of Appeal judgment. So we have all of this, saying Martin Ameole is the right, what's it called now, assembly. And I want to believe that's what he's arguing. I was not there when he was interviewed, right? But I just want to believe. And if that is the case, if it's being asked the question by the interviewer, then he must have said, if that is the argument, then because he used the word may be falling into a trap. And that's what we're asking. Is he falling into a trap? But let's come here. I've got God's Time from Anelga. God's Time, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, God's Time.
Yeah, I want to comment on Jesus. I can go to the effect.
Sorry?
You see, the government is spending on the budget that have not been passed in the legitimate assembly. For 2 billion votes now, they felt as the amount that the government should go back and raise the budget. And we have not done that. If you can't spend without budgeting, and the government is spending without budgeting, you must understand that the reverse money, as he said, is for people, but should be well appropriated by the legitimate assembly and not just the person who sit down and appropriate and found. Look at that. There is an assembly that he ought to have represented the budget, and he has not been able to do that. As if many people will say, Masala, Chieftain said, and it's in my own joy to think that the Chieftain has just made a clear statement.
All right.
He has sent a message to the government because the government might be falling into a trap.
All right, then.
You should try and do the needful.
All right.
The needful is necessary.
But God's time. Oh my! Why? God's Time. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Now, for you who's arguing that the governor is falling into or is setting himself up for a trap or whatever the description or the grammatic configuration is, he's doing it for Rivers people. And given the political dynamics in this state or dynamism, can we argue that it shouldn't be such a big deal given that he's doing it for Rivers people? It's for Rivers people. It's Rivers money.
Yes, it's Rivers money and he's doing it for Rivers people. In every government, there's appropriation. And the governor has not been able to do that. And in this severe case, he's doing that his own risk.
All right, then.
Because the consequences will be severe. It's just like you spending the money allocated to the studio without accounting for it.
All right, then. All right. God's Time, I've got to go. Thank you very much. I've got Cot from Uniport. Cot, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, Canada, good afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon to you.
Canada, I just want to say that running the state...
Are you there, Cot?
It is not good. But we don't know if the governor is running the state without budget.
Okay.
Until the Supreme Court judgment will
okay, so until the Supreme Court.
That's when we will know if actually is running the state without budget.
So it's
and again, if Governor Fubara went ahead now and someone commissioned for inquiry for this state who have ruled for 8 years without budget, some people now will begin to say it's which one. That's my problem.
All right, then.
So people who are crying for now will begin to call it which one. Because as we will know, this state was run for almost 8 years without budget, which is not good. But if we go and find out now what goes wrong, you will see many people now will come and say it's which one.
All right.
And again, if Fubara have gone to Kode local committee to say, I know that it's not my people that did this. Did Fubara mention any name?
All right, Cot, I'm not talking about that. I've got to move on. Thank you very much. But it just is why are we like this? Every year, the court cannot state clearly the genuine members of the State Assembly. Should we stand still as a state? Maxwell. And Maxwell has a very wonderful concern there because the state cannot stand still. And that's where we need to look at. But let's come here. This one says, Rogers Akpabio from Orabali. Please, Governor Fubara, consider fishing trawlers. Is that for me? Okay, but I guess you're talking about since he's going about doing projects, he should provide fishing trawlers to make fish available in Rivers State and for Rivers people. All right, okay, thank you, Rogers, but that's not my conversation, I guess. Let's comment. Melody in report says, if everything that the military government did, including international treaties, decrees, project expenditures, etc. are still binding on Nigerians today. If all projects, budgets, and decisions taken by Celestin Omeya are binding, then Fubara's action must remain binding whether we cry or shout. Governance cannot stop because of the selfish actions of a few. Should the state be grounded because people defected? As for the Biafra agitation, it will almost be impossible with the inclusion of the South-South region. It will be easier with the 5 southeastern states. Akpabio should pass the tax bill the way they passed the Boroboro bills this time to show his political strength. Oh my, this one says, I'm shocked you're bringing the Biafra stuff in your big story when people in the southeast Nigeria is not aware that such things happen by faceless group, not even Nigeria. That brings me to question what you are trying to instigate, knowing that it may cause insecurity in the 2 states. In my from your affair, I mean, you can go on Channel's TV website. Where do you think I got the story from? You thought I manufactured it myself? It's part of the stories making the rounds. You can go check it out yourself if you have got the time. But let's see this one. This one says, so much ado about tax reform bills. Beyond senators speaking passionately, why doesn't anyone call for a division of the House? So the Senate President or House Speaker would jettison voice votes so we Nigerians would know the real figures of who is for and who is against the bill. I've always been an advocate of the abolition of voice votes in our legislature. I want the Senate President and the House of Representatives to use one-by-one voting so that we would not only know which side has the actual majority, history would also know which senators and rep members voted for what. Contentious legislation should not be out through voice vote. Text from Weibo, but text, I think it has to pass second reading, but it's still hovering around the second reading. Once it passes second reading, it gets to the, I think, to the point where they get to vote for it or something like that. Well, let's come here. This one says, good day. Naturally, Akpabio is not supposed to be in the Senate. He has never acted as one who was elected to represent the people. All Akpabio is after is the interest of the president, not the people that elected him. Jimmy Pekbe from Transamadi. Pekbe, thank you very much. Let's come here. And this one says, projects embarked upon are not captured in 2024 budget, according to a statement. This is laughable. As far as that's you're talking about yourself, or Wanate Clinton West is concerned, all projects embarked upon or embarking upon are captured in the 2024 appropriation bill presented to the relevant Right Honorable Oko Jumbo-led Rivers State House of Assembly and passed into law and signed by Governor Fubara. For anybody to say what the projects embarked upon are not captured does not hold water. All right, thank you, Wanate. But let's come here. This one says, if they like, they should cry from now till kingdom come about the governor. Nothing will change. I think you said our governor has come to stay. They thought it was business as usual. Jaja Maxwell with that one. And let's read section 91 of the Constitution stipulates minimum of 24 members, a maximum of 40 members as the valid composition of State House of Assembly. Section 96 of the Constitution stipulates minimum of 1/3 of all members of the State House of Assembly to constitute a valid quorum of the Rivers State House of Assembly. In the case of Honorable Michael Dapianlong versus Chief Joshua Darie, the Supreme Court held that the impeachment carried out by 10 members of the Plateau House of Assembly, that is less than 2/3 of all members of the Assembly, is unconstitutional. This means that all the 4 or 3 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly is unconstitutional, null and void. Please, Veen. All right. So many arguments. Final message, and this one says, Where is it? It says, man of the people, Tinubu's tax reform bills have been turned into a political debate between the North and the South. I agree with you. He said, only Rivers State House of Assembly recognized by the law is that of Victor Okojumbo-led House of Assembly, and they have passed the budget that the governor is using to develop the entire state. Thank God ability at Twigboot. Thank you very much for your thoughts. It's almost time for me to end this segment, draw the curtains in this segment. But when I do come back, we will be going to the National Assembly. You must have seen the report that 4 LP legislators in the House of Reps defected. They moved from that party to the APC. And then the minority leader, who's a PDP member, rose up and said, hey, automatically they have lost their seats. And guess what? There was some kind of argument in the House of Reps today. Was it today? I believe it was. And I'll tell you about it when I do come back from the other side of the business update. So you want to stay tuned, because we will be linking, or should I say likening, what has happened and transpired at the House of Representatives to what has happened in Rivers State, and to try to peek into the future to see if it will manifest the same way in the state. Do stay tuned. 92.3 Niger Info. Remember, we will return live on Facebook. We will return live on YouTube. Niger Info PH. I am Kalada Korubatubo.
We are Nigeria Info. Nigeria.